I now want to talk about the flawed genius that's Michael, with, I'm thinking, Adelaide 94 with him and Damon Hill and the championship falling to Michael. Then fast forward to Jerez 97, and then there's Monaco 2006, I think, in the Ferrari as well, when he, can we say, parked it at Rascasse. Were you surprised that there was that side to Michael?
Yeah, I was. I guess the first time we saw it, maybe, was in Adelaide in 94. I remember it as if it was yesterday. First World Championship for me, you know. That close fight. The race before in Japan had been immensely disappointing, where Damon had absolutely just blown us away. And perhaps the only time I ever worked with Michael when he didn't quite really understand what he had to do. But we arrived then in Adelaide, everything to play for. Simple equation, we needed to beat Damon. If he beat us, he was champion. If we beat him, we were champions. And then the infamous accident. I remember my emotions very well, because I sort of thought, oh, we're going to get into trouble for this, you know. The stewards are going to have something to say about it. Really, I wasn't happy. And so that must have meant that somewhere in the back of my mind, I wondered whether it wasn't just an accident. But then I convinced myself it was an accident. You know, I looked at the video, I looked at the car, I saw that he'd lost the steering, so he didn't have control of the car. And therefore, you know, as far as I was concerned, it was an accident. The stewards never questioned it. So we got on and had a couple of beers and celebrated winning our first World Championship. Didn't really think much more about it until you get to 97, until you get to these other incidents. And then you think, now that is surprising, because Michael is a lovely, lovely guy. He's one of the nicest, if not the nicest driver I ever worked with. He was such a personable person. He knew everyone in the garage. He knew their wives. He knew their children. He knew what they were doing. He would talk to them, you know, on the Thursday and discuss, you know, as if they lived next door to them. He was that sort of guy. So to see that slightly, I think you called it a flawed side to his character, was really surprising. And, you know, I've thought about this a lot. The only thing I can think of is that he didn't make the best decisions when he had to make them very quickly. But all I can say is that if that's the only flawed side to the genius, he's still just the nicest guy you could ever imagine and one of the best drivers ever.